When we look to the map, to German, the German map, Brandenburg is the state, one of the German states, we have 15 states, that surrounds Berlin. Berlin is here in the middle. This is Berlin. It's an independent state. And Brandenburg, the state of Brandenburg surrounds Berlin. And we also have a city that has the same name, Brandenburg. Brandenburg upon the Havel. It's nearly 40 minutes away by fast train, so it's easy to come there. And it's nearby. So this is our campus. This is an old military barracks, nearly or even more than 100 years old, but now no more used. There are no enemies around Germany, or only friends. So we don't need this big army anymore. And this is our main building. These are new buildings. This is the computer science department and the library and the mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. And this is the student dormitory house. So if some of your students or lecturers, for example, Erasmus Corporation likes to visit us, he will most probably live here. And here's the cafeteria and the nice restaurant, so very short ways all the time. And everything is only 40 minutes away from Berlin, the big capital, where the big action is always going, so all the students go there and have a lot of fun nearby. Very nice. So it's a new university founded in '92, small university, not big. We have around 3,000 students, 65 professors, different departments, three main big departments. All the business sciences have one department, the computer and media science has one department, and the technical sciences. So, this is a little bit here, some of the photos. It's a nice environment, old buildings, new buildings, all together. So this is how it looks. And as I said already, Berlin is in the center, in the middle, where our state of Brandenburg is situated around. Around 3 to 4 million people live in this area. Yeah, the city itself is very old, more than 1,000 years old. About 80,000 people are in our city. This is a little bit the aerial view, a very old cathedral and something like that. So, this is the structure. As usually in the university, we have the president and the senate who's controlling all this. We have the rector's office, the technology transfer office, the deans of the different departments. I mean, this is quite normal. And this is what we offer, the different degree programs, microsystems technology, optical technology, mechatronics, automatization, IT, electronics, mechanical engineering, all kind of stuff in the mechanical, in the Department of Engineering. The business has business administration programs, and of course, some years ago we switched to the bachelor and master system. Before we had the diploma system. Not everybody is very happy about this. We don't know if it will be good or if we change back in 10 years again to the old diploma system. Nobody knows if it's good or not good. Let's see. When I think back in my life, I always worked in scientific institutions, in universities, now for nearly 40 years. And since 40 years we are doing reforms, all kind of reforms. When I studied math and physics, I studied 4 years. They just changed it in Germany from 5 years to 4 years to make it more faster. When I finished, it was again changed to 5 years because they found out it was too short. And then they did this reform and that reform, and nowadays we are doing accreditation and re-accreditation and certification and quality control and quality assurance and bachelor and master, and I don't know what is the next one. Yeah? But anyway, in 4 years I will retire, and my colleagues will. Yeah, this is the situation. This is an international program, Technology and Innovation Management. It's in English. We also have some English programs. We have security management from the management point of view. And this is our department. We have different specializations. The ordinary, what we call informatic in German, the informatics, the computer science. This is an English program, applied computer science, where students must go abroad for 1 semester. And we have an online distance education program. It's a bachelor and master program for people who are working, who have families, who cannot afford to sit all day in the university. They can study online. We have medical informatics. It's very popular nowadays because we see that the people in medicine, in hospitals, they depend a lot on computers, networks, patient information systems, databases, whatever. And it's very critical, and often the medical people, the medical doctors, they cannot talk to the computer scientists and vice versa. So to build a bridge a little bit is very helpful, and there's a big market in medical informatics. This is the program that we offer. Yeah, so we have 6 semesters. This is the ordinary time for the bachelor, and 4 semesters is for the master. This is more or less a standard in Germany. And of course, we have good laboratories, a lot of different professors, technicians, assistants, and then many of them are not listed here who work on the project basis. 760 students in total in our department. Everything is accredited. We are very proud about these papers that we get every year or every 2 years, and we pay a lot of money for that. It's amazing. What is nice, we have a lot of ranking in Germany. The universities are ranked separately, and the about 70 degree programs we have, and the university colleges are ranked, and we got actually #1. So we are very proud about this. Everything is possible to see in the internet. Okay, so the typical program structure is this. Probably it's very familiar for you if you look to your program in the bachelor. Is similar. We have math and algorithms and data structures and programming 1, 2, 3, and this and that, databases and security and so on. And then we have a lot of elective modules that you can choose. And finally, in the last semester, we have a work placement and the final thesis. This is the overall structure in the bachelor. This is the overall structure in the master program. Again, some theory, math, computer engineering, databases, digital media, data protection, data security, and a lot of elective modules that you can choose, and finally the master thesis. I think this is very familiar. Okay, then finally we have a lot of partner universities in Finland, Great Britain, Sweden, Spain, whatever, Poland, USA, so people go in and out or come to us. And what is very popular is the applied computer science with some English modules, the medical informatics and the distance learning. Okay, so this is a little bit an overview about the research topics that we are working on. A lot of video design, computer animation, media cross-publishing, image sequence analysis and software engineering. We also have these autonomous sailing boats or the flying drones is very popular. One colleague has a lab about this. And then finally the security and cryptography. A lot of different laboratories. We don't have big laboratories, we have many small laboratories. We focus on many small, very nicely equipped laboratories for simulation, for image processing, sound studio, network and distributed systems lab, e-learning studio, and. Yeah? So we don't have these big, huge computer halls with 50 or 100 computers like in big universities, but very small, very dedicated labs. Okay. So come and visit us. It's not far away. It's in the center of Europe, and you are always welcome. As I said to Daniel, we can always host you and always accommodate you. It's not a big deal. We have since many years the Erasmus contract. So, if you have any questions about this part, please, I'm very glad to answer your question. Otherwise, I will just go to the second part. Okay, if there are no questions, I will just continue. This is a very long presentation, and don't worry, I will not show everything. It has something like 250 slides, far too much, but I will just browse through some of them. If you have a question or any remark, please just raise your hand. We can discuss this a little bit more. And also, what I maybe showed before is a little bit about the research activities in our university. For example, I show you my research profile. You can find everything there. More and more, we are working on ResearchGate, and we put all our papers there, and you can download everything. Yeah. So you can search for people. Maybe you know this. This is one of those. Nice portals, one of those social networks. Generally, I'm not a member on any social network. I'm not on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Even I'm not in LinkedIn or others. But I'm since 2 years now a fan of this ResearchGate. It has absolutely no advertisement, and there's only information about the researchers, about other universities, about the research work that is going on. You can in a university or in a department. So I put all my papers there from all my life, all my thesis work, and I've scanned in a lot of papers and put it there. And I'm networking on ResearchGate. And you can put your certifications, your papers, your grants, or your lab information there, and then work with other people. And you can put the metadata of papers there, or you put the publication itself. So whatever you like, you can put there. So you see, I put there some poster from last conferences, or the PDF and the PowerPoint version that we published with our students, whatever. And you can go to any of the paper, like this one, or you can search what was very popular, or who has downloaded, or whatever. Yeah? For example, this one is very popular, maybe also for your colleagues, how to hack the drones, the quadcopters from the RR drone. Maybe you know, very popular. You can buy this not so expensive drone, this quadcopter, and how to hack and to take over other drones and steal them or hijack them or whatever. More than 2,800 people have downloaded this. So be careful with your RR drone. Yeah? Maybe they will steal your drone now. Yeah. So this is a little bit the thing that we use nowadays, the social network. And now I would like to speak a little bit about the forensics part. And I will browse through these slides. When we speak about computer forensics, the first question is, what does it mean? What is forensics? Yeah? What is security and what is forensics? We cannot mix it. Security first only explains that your channel, your connection is secure, you want to encrypt something so that everything is working nicely. When something happens, if some bad guy has made some illegal download or hacked into a system, or has stolen some password or whatever, then the question is, how can we prove it? How can we detect it? Because when it goes to the court, the judge needs some evidence. We cannot say, oh, I have seen that this guy has taken that, or I have heard somebody has stolen. Yeah? This is not a proof. This is not an evidence. So the question is, what can we do to prove something that when it goes to the court, and normally the judges are completely stupid, they don't understand anything. Yeah? They studied law but not computer science. So how to make it clear to a lawyer, to a judge, that something happened here. Yeah? They want to have it on a paper and say, this is the evidence, we have found out this, and he has done that, and on this happens. So this is the question, how can we prove something? When we look a little bit to the hardware for forensics, just to show you a little bit the devices that we need for the forensics. For example, the standard or the simplest case is in a computer, something happened in a computer. what can we do in computer forensics? The first action would be to take this computer, to size this, or the police is doing that, or the state prosecutor, or whatever, who's coming and taking this computer. But what is the next step? The next step is that we are never allowed to work on this computer, because then probably we can destroy something, or we can delete something, or manipulate something. So the first thing is we need to make a one-to-one copy, a bitwise copy of the data. For example, the hard disk, or the memory stick, or the CD-ROM, or whatever is the data, the medium. And there we have different possibilities. One is the forensic duplicator. Here we can plug in different hard disks on one side. That means we open the computer, we take out the hard disk, plug it in here with all the different cable and everything is there. And on the other side, we can connect an empty hard disk where we have then finally a one-to-one copy of this hard disk. So we don't touch the original hard disk. And there's a so-called write blocker inside that ensures that the data is not manipulated at all. Nothing happens to the original hard disk. Yeah? So there are many of those bridges and duplicators. The bigger forensic workstations, they include those devices, those write blockers, a lot of interfaces, so you can plug and have a lot of hard disk. Of course, you need a lot of hard disks. For example, if the suspected computer has now 1, 2, 3, whatever, 3, 4 terabytes, then you need to make a one-to-one copy. This is, of course, headache. It takes a long time. And you need those bridges or those duplicators with a hardware-based copying machines and with these hardware write protectors. This is, by the way, the model TD1. We have also TD2 and 3. These are the fastest write blockers on the market, very fast, but still it takes time to make the one-to-one copy of the devices. It's very boring, but you need to do that. This is another photo from our lab. Here we have those write blockers and all the plugs, and here we have some hard disk and all the different forensic programs to work. I just show you. This is a little bit how it looks in our lab. And we can connect different hard disks here into these slots to observe this. And students like to take this course. It's a master course in the forensics because there's always something to hack, and it's very interesting to hack into other machines and into other mobile phones and something like that. So the course is always full without any advertisement. Okay, another part, what is nowadays very popular or very necessary is the forensics of mobile devices. The first part was a little bit about this very classical part. There is a computer, there is a PC, or there is a laptop, and it is very clear what to do. You need to take out the hard disk or the SSD nowadays, You can easily perform a one-to-one bitwise copy, and then you have a nice working set for the lab, and you can use now a lot of different programs for these forensic analysis. This is the standard case for the PC or for the laptop. For the mobile devices, it's a little bit more diverse nowadays. We have so many different devices. We have mobile phones, we have tablets, we have navigation system like this TomTom, and we have the Android world, we have the iPhone world, the Apple devices, we have Windows Mobile, whatever. So, and more and more people are using this, and of course there's more and more also some criminal investigation necessary when we think about some drug gangs or some tax violations or whatever, bank money laundry or whatever. And it's very important to analyze mobile devices. And it's very helpful to see what is the address book, or what is the email, or what are the text messages, what is the calendar, where the location or location data, videos, camera points, and so on. It's really amazing, and the police is very happy when they find some guy where this data is stored. You can see the profile, what has he done, where he was, what are his friends, or what are the other dealers, and so on. It's all in the phone. So, of course, you know, or everybody knows, we have a headache with the different devices, with the different cable, with the different plugs, and this and that. Now is a little bit better, but you know it when you have a new iPhone or older iPhone and this and that device, you had a lot of cable. Hopefully it's more and more standardized. What we need to do in the mobile device forensics is we need to first make sure that the device is not altered, not modified when we found it. So there are special bags for that, like in the Faraday cage. We have some metallic bag like this one with some metallic textile, so that there's no influence from outside. And then it goes to the lab. For the products that are on the market for forensic analysis, we use Oxygen Forensic Suite. That is our favorite program, but there are others like the Swedish X-Ray or Mobile Edit and Paraben Device Sizer and so on. Those programs are not very cheap. They have normally a dongle version, so it's copy protected, and you can buy them and you get an annual license for that. And also the demo version is free. You can download on the net for 30 days. It's really fun. I can really recommend you to do that, to try it out. It's amazing what you can get out. Oxygen forensic is used in many countries in different languages, and it's no problem. Probably the Spanish version as well, but anyway, English is used, and it is used by all the law enforcement, police, army, customs, tax services all over the world. This is what they are doing, and they can get out some information. About 1,500, probably nowadays even more, mobile devices are supported, and you can extract a lot of data from iPhone, Nokia, BlackBerry, and so on and so on. And they're always updating it. So let me show you a little bit what's going on and what you can find out. For example, you always have a nice user interface, a nice menu that extracts the backup of the phone, for example, the Russian one, yeah? And all the documents, and even in older versions, even the password. So normally it is relatively simple to read out the basic data that is very helpful for any investigation, like the phone book, the calendars, the event logs, the messages, phone activities, and something like that. And it gives really a nice overview who has phoned, what are the details, and what phone was there, what are the email number, yeah, and so on. Finally, what you can do with such a forensic suite is always a report. Everybody wants to have a report. What have you done? What did you find out? When did you find it? Who was the investigator? What time? What date? And so on and so on. Everything must be monitored in such a way. And therefore, it's very nice. These forensic tools that we have allows you to give a report, finally. So, the phone book, who phoned, when did you phone, when did you receive, who called you, yeah, or the address books and so on. Also in a nicely layout, so that you have already the whole context. So the calendar, yeah, so everything that is there. What is necessary to mention is all entries that you get out in the forensics investigation is always under question. Yeah, of course the defendant will also argue against this, and why I don't believe that, I haven't done this, and so on and so on. So every entry that you get out from, oh my God, what is this?
It's broken. No problem.
Oh,
Can you just maybe talk like this?
yeah.
Leave it on the floor.
Yeah. I don't know why is it falling down. I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault, of course.
Yeah, so all entries are always given here with at least with the MD5 hash, or sometimes with 2 hash values. So you can always reproduce what you have done. Yeah? You can see when the guy went to the dentist or met with Don Pedro or got some money from Kate or whatever was written in the phone or found on the phone, and when it was done, and there is a hash value. That means you can always reproduce this again. If there's a question or so, nothing is modified, everything is still there. All the images, videos, sometimes with the geolocation, with the position where the photo was taken, that means where was this guy, what happened here, and so on, in some catastrophe, or think about some terrorist activities, whatever. It's very important. Where was this guy, or driving with a car and giving some data to the position system or whatever. So it's very important to find this out. Where did he meet people? When did he stop there, make a photo, make a phone call, and. So there's always a lot of like here in the file manager, a lot of data that is collected with the size, with the timestamp, and with the hash value. We always need some hash values when we copy something, when we extract some items. This is very important. So there are those endless results, and then of course you have a possibility to go into Google and look. If you find some coordinates, when did he go there, when did he do the phone call, where he was, where he stopped, where he made the photo or whatever. This is all very nicely integrated. For the iPhone, there are different small programs to start some investigation, like Phone View, iPhone Explorer, iPhone Box. Not very helpful, I will say, but a better one is the Oxygen. Sometimes we need to be very flexible outside the lab in the field. So they use these devices like this one that directly is mobile and connects to the mobile phone, like this Celebrite simple machines, very, very helpful. The police likes this very much. They can immediately start some investigation and extract data from the mobile phone with this so-called Celebrite device that reads out whatever it can get, very flexible, very expensive machine, and writes it on some special protected USB drive, and that can be analyzed in the lab for large investigation. But just to be able in the field outside to be very fast and to transmit this data, it's very good to have these mobile devices. Same for the BlackBerry. BlackBerry is very popular, but of course not every forensic suite can handle all mobile phones in the same quality. Some vendors try to hide these and that data and interfaces. Oxygen, we feel that oxygen is very good, but other people say that mobile edit is better for this and that phone. So it depends. For the different fields, we have a different forensics. Later I show you a little bit the different books that we already have in forensics. It is a nightmare. There is Windows forensics, there's a mobile forensics, there's a GPS forensics. Nowadays it's very popular to find out the GPS information in some devices. There's even a website, you can have a look, GPS forensics, to deal with the geolocation of data. Everybody is moving around with a mobile phone, with a tablet, with a navigation system in the car or whatever. So more and more the GPS is coming in, and we need to extract these data for the cars, for the ships, for the airplanes. We just now had this terrible crash, so it's very important to get this data. For the TomTom navigation, there's a tool, it's called Tomtology. NCase has some, Paraben, other companies, it's all listed. I will not go into the detail of this or that tool, but when you look to the libraries or to Amazon and you search for forensics, you get normally all the medical books about the medical forensics, but this of course has nothing to do with medicine. You can find books, big books on only iPhone forensics. It's very complicated. Or iPhone development, iPhone hacks. You can find books on Mac OS, iPod, iPhone forensics, and DVD forensics. We also looked 2 years ago. We even found a very nice thing about the DVD forensics. For example, in some DVDs you can detect the serial number of the burner, who burned this DVD. Very, very interesting. So the optical media. We have sometimes the CD-ROM. Now probably nobody uses CD-ROMs anymore. We don't need them. DVD is also already a little bit old-fashioned. Blu-ray, who knows, will be successful or not. Nowadays people use, I think, more the USB sticks or the mobile hard disks or the SSDs. But there's still a lot of mobile optical discs, and we also have tools for that, like ISOBuster or CD-DVD inspector, to analyze this media, to find out who has burned this. The best would be to find out the serial number of the burner, of the CD or DVD burner, to prove that it was burned on this or that machine. Here is a photo. When you go to Thailand or Malaysia or somewhere, you can buy everything for just whatever you like, for whatever €1 or so, you get everything. So that's some kind of mass production using these optical media, and of course it is a crime and it must be investigated. And it can be investigated with these tools. Another aspect I just want to browse is audio forensic, video forensic. Audio forensic is also interesting. Is that this and that speaker? Can we recognize this voice? who phoned there and gave this false bomb alarm, and so on and so on. So there's also sometimes a necessity for audio forensics. The best tools for that are something like diamond cut, that gives you a lot of noise filtering and extraction, feature extraction of voice, music, audio, and so on, and a lot of special dedicated filters. In video forensics, it's the same. Sometimes it's very interesting or very necessary to analyze a video for forensic investigation. For example, when cars are moving and the police is following these cars and so on, everything must be done in a forensically sound way, so that it is not, or it can be proof that it is not modified. This video is not modified at all. Yeah, so there are those video suites, and very often we have fast movements, so we need to analyze the license plate of the car because it is blurred, or it is at night, or the illumination is bad, and so on. Oh, this is another terrible task to do. So for multimedia, it is very often important to focus on the metadata for images, audio and video, when it was done, who has done it, on which device and where it was done, and so on. There's a lot of metadata around that is interesting to read out. Unfortunately, you can always modify these data. So I don't know if I have an example here. No, I don't have it here. But it's for example very easy to forge the metadata in the camera. When you download the images, you can see when it was done and which camera or which mobile phone. It is all written in the metadata, and very often also the location. But with a simple tool, you can edit the metadata and say, oh, I have taken this photo not here but in New York or whatever. Yeah? So you can write it down. So metadata are a little bit weak. When you find them, when you size them, okay, you have it, but you never can be sure if they are already original or not. Just to show you a little bit about the huge amount of sources, journals, books that we have, different journals, these are all the journals, about computer forensics. And these are the books. There is a book on Photoshop forensics. What can we do with Photoshop about the image forensics? Computer crime. EnCase is the leading tool all over the world for computer forensics, and there's also some official certification about that, the NCE, EnCase Certified Examiner. This is what I mentioned about the CD-ROM and DVD forensics. It's a big book about that. And this is an endless story. There are so many different books, and it's a growing field. The Forensics Laboratory Handbook, PDA forensic tools, all these hacking books, Photoshop, CS3, even the old CS3 version for forensics, forensic speaker identification, forensic uses of digital images, forensic computing, cybercrime, and so on. Even for the dummies, they have books, yeah, like for everything. There's a lot of organizations like EC Council who offer the nice certified hacker courses, certified ethical hacker courses and others. But there's ISACA and SANS and CompTIA and so on and so on. These are all different organizations, all the different vendors like Access Data for the forensic toolkit or NCASE and others. I myself have passed different exams with EC Council, so I'm also a certified ethical hacker and computer hacking, forensics, investigator, and so on and so on. So very, very nice courses they offer. The highest accreditation is this Certified Information System Security Professional. We also try to give our students, when they come to our university, some of those courses. We have some cooperation with one company who is offering those courses. So we think that computer scientists who study at the university and can show already this or that certificate has very good job opportunities. I think it's a good idea to help students to get already maybe 1 or 2 certifications during their bachelor or master. Of who it's not so easy, but when they pass those exams, it's very good. Okay, this is something that I wanted to show you. Yeah. So, thank you very much for your attention, and I'm happy to answer any questions. And please come and visit us in Germany. Any questions?
Interactive systems.
Yeah.
How is the procedure? Because I guess in open system to access the data information is more easy, no? But in the integration systems, there is a limitation or tools or
You mean to access all kind of of course, if the data is not encrypted, it's easy. Yeah, I mean, you have different tools, and the forensic tools are very, very good nowadays, like NCASE or forensic toolkit. Or in Germany we have one package that is very nicely. It's a German product, X-Ways, and they can open many different file formats. They recognize everything. For example, they even recognize what is very very interesting. People are hiding their data in such a way in the computer. They make photos, and then they change it from GPG, the JPEG, to DOC, for example, yeah? Just to make it a little bit more difficult. So when you double-click this file, it doesn't work. Probably they think, okay, they will never find it. If some investigator looks to this, it's a DOC file, like a Word, but when you double-click it, it doesn't work. Yeah? So this is very simple to hide information. Or if you have an Excel table, yeah, you just make it a JPEG file or a DOC file or whatever, yeah, just to hide it. And these forensic tools, they automatically see the header and they know what it is. They don't care about the doc ending or something. They are clever enough to see, oh, this is an image, or this is a Word file, or something. So this is all no problem for the investigation. When it is encrypted, then it is, of course, hard. It depends. Is it a TrueCrypt volume? Then it's hopeless, more or less. Yeah? Or is it, what kind of encryption is it? Is it a backup of the phone, of this and that version? Sometimes we can manage something. And then we have, I didn't mention it in the talk, we have two different views in the forensics. One is the so-called post-mortem forensics, that we work on some hard disk or some USB stick that is coming to the lab, and we work on that. And the other one is the live forensic. We cannot expect always to have the data. We cannot go to the Spanish telecom and say, we make now a one-to-one copy of all your data. That's completely idiotic. It doesn't work. It's simply too much. And we cannot break the system, or it's simply impossible. Or in a big bank, you cannot go to the bank and say, just stop, we make now one-to-one copy of your data. It's impossible. Yeah? The bank needs to work. So in that case, the only chance is to use the live, what we call the live forensic. We have the post-mortem forensic, PC, mobile phone, whatever is incised. And the other forensics working methodology is the live forensic. So we go into the live system, into big servers or whatever, and try to get out as much data as possible. What is very helpful is, even when the data is encrypted, when the computer is on, you can get out everything, because the password is in the main memory. Yeah. So the investigators, when they have big companies, big banks or whatever, they go and try to copy as much data as possible from the live system. For example, the RAM of the computer. Everything is in the RAM. We have big RAM nowadays, 4, 8 gigabit or whatever you have. And if you don't switch out the computer, if the computer is still on, everything is there. All your passwords. Some people don't switch out their computer. Yeah? They are always more or less on. So everything is there. All passwords you can find in the RAM. Just go to the RAM, analyze the RAM, and you have everything. So if it is necessary, the police, even in Germany, they come to the bank, to the company, to the suspect, whatever, with a big battery, big mobile battery. They splice the power cable, put in the 220 volts, and fly with the big battery and the computer who's running back to Berlin to their central lab. But hopefully the machine will not switch out. Yeah? And then they are safe. They find everything. Even if it's true crypted or whatever. Yeah? Because the password is for sure somewhere in the memory. But you're right. If data is encrypted, then it's hopeless. Probably that's the reason why the Americans are spying on everything in the network. Probably you have heard about this. We are very angry in Germany about the US nowadays because they spy on everything, even our chancellor's mobile phone. Yeah.
So, what are the tools that not guys are using
To protect the data is encryption. Just encrypt. If you have hard encryption like TrueCrypt, not the latest, but the version before, you're still safe.
In some case, it's true about the actor which have manufactured, for example.
I didn't get.
Yes, it's often said that manufacturers like Microsoft or
Yeah, they probably have some back doors.
it's true.
Yeah, probably. Of course.
No, I recommend if you have to ask.
Especially American companies perhaps have some. Now we don't know exactly what is Google, Apple. I mean, on one side they say no, we are against this and blah blah blah, but you don't know what is really going on. Maybe they even don't know. One spy is enough in this company. Yeah? They have everything. If there's some back door or some weak thing, this is what more and more comes out nowadays. It's amazing.
I have a small question about the collaboration of big companies, specifically WhatsApp company, regarding card investigations. I mean, I know that, for instance, in Spain, I suppose that in Germany also, if you are involved in a card investigation, the judge can make an order to the telecom company, and they send information about your messages and so on.
Yeah.
And what's happening with WhatsApp?
In Germany, they have very strong data protection law. Maybe you have heard about this, and there was always some activity from the government to avoid this and to say we need to store all information for a certain time period. And they even made a new law that finally was overruled by European law. They said no, it's impossible. Yeah? So the police and the state prosecutors, they always like to have these long data monitoring of the telecom companies. But nowadays we don't have it. We only have it for the telecom companies to make the bill. I don't know what is the maximum, 1 month or something, because they need to send you a bill. Yeah? They need to know something, so they need to store a little bit, but not longer. So whatever the court is doing, they are asking all the time, can you please help us? We have found out this IP address and this date and blah blah blah. If they can, they can give you. If it was just yesterday or the day before or last week, probably they have something, but they don't care. Generally, they don't like the government at all, so they say, no, we don't have. There's no rule, there's no law, forget it.
I think it depends on the internet provider.
Yes.
To retain, to store the data. They are not obliged.
Yeah. And there are a lot of errors. They found out that all the tools to monitor something, they also have errors, and so we don't know what will be in the future. In the US, for example, they don't care at all. They store everything. Yeah? They store really everything. Have you heard about this storage from NSA? It's amazing.
Slow pipes.
They store everything, and they have the possibility, and they have the power and the money to store everything and to monitor everything, and they like to have everything, and it's amazing. Not in Germany or in Europe at all. We don't have. Also, we don't have the agencies, and we don't have these many people. And we don't have so many experts. We know those guys, yeah, so forget it. They're unable to do anything, in my opinion.
Anyway, I heard that the English government
English
is recording not only the communications that ends,
the five eyes, yeah.
but also the communications that cross.
England, Canada, Great Britain, Australia, and who else? They work together, they share everything. Yeah. England is famous to share everything.
More questions? You talk about the oxygen forensic suit.
Yeah?
I find it very interesting.
Did you use it? Yeah?
No, I find it very interesting, but I haven't used it.
It's possible to use. You can download.
But the point is, it's designed to be run on Windows platform.
Not necessary. We can have a look.
Do you know any other tool, any other software that can be run on Mac software,
yes.
Mac operating system, or Linux?
For example, for the Macintosh, there are special programs. I just show you. It was Black Bag Tech, I think, was the name. No. Some name like web here. It's called Blackback, and the company, the website is Blackback Tech. So it's especially for the Macintosh. Yeah? Because we have the Windows world, we have the Macintosh world, and to get all the file system and everything that is of course completely different. This is one what I can recommend, and when we look to the oxygen, I think it is Windows. Oxygenforensic.com is the website. Let's look to the English version, and I'm not exactly.
Go to the menu up there. Go to the download.
Yeah.
Forensic tools, and there you will find that Windows is required.
Perhaps, yeah, maybe, yeah.
Okay.
But there are others. I mean, if you like to work only on a Macintosh or Linux computer or whatever, yeah. In the Linux world, we have also a lot of open source tools. But in, let's say, investigation or in the court, they always they don't like. They prefer some standardized, certified products, like this oxygen. It's a Russian product, by the way. It's a Russian company. The Russians have very good forensics products, and they are used all over the world. Even FBI, CIA, they all use oxygen. Yeah? It's amazing. Yeah? And also for encryption, like Passware, Elcomsoft. I mean, just can show you a little bit. Passware I can recommend, and Elcomsoft. Elcomsoft is famous, misspelled. Elcomsoft. Elcomsoft is famous for all the PDF, Word, Excel, password breaking, yeah, and WinZip, WinRAR, so everything that you need normally in the office to encrypt something. Elcomsoft can break more or less. It's very, very famous. Elcomsoft, Passware, Oxygen, they are Russian companies, but they are active all over the world, and perhaps in all different languages here. Very, very, very good tools. Yeah, even the Spanish is here, so you can see everything. Advanced Office password recovery. There are all kind of Office passwords. iOS forensic toolkit. Yeah, so they are doing a lot. So I can recommend Elcomsoft, Oxygen, Passware. The problem is you need to pay money, more or less. Yeah, here they have this bundle, and it's expensive because you always need some new version, because then you have a new Office version and a new PDF version, and all the time you need to pay money, and it's not easy. But there's no other way.
But you shouldn't trust Russian software or American software.
No. They really do the job. They do the job.
They do the job.
They do the job. You have a PDF, it's encrypted, you just put it there and that's it. Very amazing.
According to the hardware, you talked about some different tools, for example, the copiers or whatever.
Yeah?
Is it easy for everyone to get one of these pieces of hardware?
Yes.
Yeah?
You can buy it. Tableau is the market leader all over the world, and it's not so expensive. Tableau is the is it the no. The company who owns everything is Guidance. Let me show you. No. We go to, probably it's a little bit different. We go to Tableau, right blocker. We have it. Tableau.com, yeah, doch, it's here. No. I don't know. Oh, it's here. So the company is Guidance. Guidance has bought Tableau recently. Guidance is the company who is providing this MCase, the big forensic suite. And they have these...
You can buy it on the internet?
Yeah. Here they are. Here are the duplicators that I showed you.
What are the prices?
This is about the TD3 to 3,000 euros.
Really?
Yeah. The bridges are a little bit
Expensive.
No, these are the duplicators. The bridges are a little bit cheaper. Here you need a computer, and you just have the bridge. That is the right blocker. It costs, I don't know, 200-300 euros. There are also software right blockers, but they are not so reliable. They say that the software sometimes doesn't work, so you need a hardware right blocker. And the problem is, with these bridges or with the duplicators, they must be extremely fast. Therefore, they are so expensive. Because it takes hours if you want to make a bitwise copy of a 2 terabyte hard disk. It's a nightmare. So it must be really fast. And they have extremely fast chips here. In this TD3 is the newest model. It's really fast. They didn't sell it. We asked them, so why don't you sell it? The TD3. Here, this one. Probably it's also written how fast it is. Somewhere probably you have all the data. We tried to buy it and they told us no, first we need to send all the production to CIA and FBI, and when they have enough then we sell it to other people. So they are the first who get the fast machines.
I have a third question.
Yeah, please.
It's a practical case. Try to imagine this. Picture this up. Somebody has created an account on Facebook, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They created first a Gmail account in order to create the Facebook account, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody published information that was not appropriate, and we wanted to know who published that information. Okay? The IP was dynamic. Mm-hmm. It was made 5 years ago. So the point is that we asked for the ISP provider, the internet provider company, and they said that they are not obliged to keep that information during all these years. Just 1 year, and if they, they, for example, have to investigate something, so concrete. But the point is it possible to trace that IP, knowing that it was an IP, dynamic IP, and was made so long time ago?
Ask the NSA. They have everything.
Yeah, but how can we get that information, for example? How can we ask for that information?
You could, probably you don't get an answer because it has nothing to do with security of the United States or whatever. Probably they have.
Yeah, can we get that information? No. Okay.
Only if some American interests, and of course they don't give it to you, they do themselves. If they want to find out something, they will do that. Yeah. But probably they have.
A Willie Mail. Let's say.
Also, you can ask Google, of course, but there's also
we asked Google.
Not clear if they.
But the point is that the account was created just for that. No trace about that. So, okay, thanks very much. Any other question? Thank you very much for sharing your knowledge and experience with us.
Thank you
very
very
much.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.